Hi, thank you for coming to Angel Radio Tarot. I'm your host, CC. Let's get started right away with the message board. Like and subscribe, and let's keep this channel going strong. For some of you, your enemy has been able to bring up shaming for you on the middle of a win. You just had a big W, and here's the thing: you've already put these things to bed. These things are popping up as the hardships that you have overcome in the past that if anybody were to ask you or like get in your face about it, you would instantly right away be like, oh bitch, let me tell you about my scars. These are my fucking these are my battle wounds. These ribbons I earned in combat. Let me tell you about the shit I went through. They're matters of pride for you. But the signal that's coming in for you is saying, what would people think? Like, some of you are accustomed to having sort of a little compact little intro life story for meeting new people, like the things that you are willing to talk about with new people, big things that have happened in your life that you keep private for good reason. Well, this is just not your energy on these things at all. And this is right on the tail of a W. So, at first I thought that maybe this was a little bit of implant from abusers. But no, this is about people that don't fucking know you and don't have any business knowing you. And so that's really just how you tell A, that it's coming from the outside of you, but B, who it's coming from. It's like you can nail it down by the tone of the question. It's like recognizing somebody by the gait of their walk from down the street. It's like a fingerprint on their general recognizable way about them. Like only they exercise their personality in that particular way that comes out sounding just snarky and just their kind of way. Yeah, you can turn this back and find out who said that. You can turn this back, and then that helps you kind of like, consciously recognize and no longer seat in this continuing a relationship with cognitive dissonance, with knowing that they mistreat you, but just kind of going along with it. This helps you cut that cord of that last little distracting negativity, and that's later on in some of these messages about deleting and adding specifically the things that are either bringing you down or building you up. This is going to help you cut a cord from somebody that's sort of trickle negativity in you. That like keeping you on a negative trickle charge, like a vampire trickle charge. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't take witchcraft to issue devastating negativity to somebody's life. So what I got was that you got this win. These people are sitting around recognizing that you've got this win, and then bitching about it to themselves, grousing about it, just hating that you got this. And because they're so focused on you specifically, they are transferring, they are projecting their own emotion onto you. That's where these thoughts are coming from. You may not hear the thought in your head until after you feel that impact of that hatred. And you just feel down and feel doubtful. And you'll tie your own issues. They don't know what your personal business is, but they know that they can send you hatred. They know that they can send you their own self-doubt because they've watched you win what they were felt entitled to. It feels like a loss for them when you win. It takes away from them when you win. That's just a horrible way to live. So some of you are just now coming into observing how the judgment of somebody else's ill intent just vanishes when you can put a name on it, when you can drive that, when you can trace that signal back to its origin. It no longer becomes you. We talk later about feeling how to release accountability for something. Sometimes we give our things, we scholastically know that somebody else is doing it, but how do we not hold it so that we feel like shit every time we think of it? How do we let go of it? How do we cut that cord? So you sent it back to them when you illuminated that path. They were able to hide in the darkness of doubt. They were able to hide in the darkness of negative messaging, of yeah, she got this win, but if you only knew what, that's that kind of, that's their worry. That was never in your head. Not about that anyway. Let's see. These kinds of things ride in when you go out into public places and you even just witness people engaging with other people. It gets on you like a fart cloud gets sucked up into your clothes. You take it home and you can shake the clothes out, but you still get a whiff of that fart in there. It's a residue. It's like a residue whenever you bear witness to it. And empathetic people, there are a lot of people with emotional processing limitations. It's bandwidth. And it's not that they have less bandwidth, they have more. And when they go out in public, they collect more of this information and interaction data. They can't not see it. I will wear earplugs to go grocery shopping just to guard my senses that way, so that I'm not hearing people's voices and hearing the tone in their voice, hearing their frustration, hearing their discord with their mate. I don't want to hear it, because when it goes in, it you consume it. You consume it. You like eating food. It becomes inside of you. So, confirmation. My ear just popped. It comes in on your interaction with every single person that you. Okay, it's hard to imagine whenever that's all you know. But imagine leaving outside your house and there is no one outside. No one in the businesses, no one in the stores. The gas stations are all open, the stores are all open, everything's still on, the lights are on. But there's no one anywhere, not a soul to be seen. You can't sense it, you can't feel it, you don't feel like you're being watched. You have free run of the place. It's you in this township and no one else is here. How different that would feel. How, it might drive some people crazy, but for people that have sensory overload because their bandwidth is wide open, because their bandwidth is so wide, and they can't go into public without having full blast of information coming into them, becoming a part of them, feeling it bombarding in the muscles of their chest. Just like if you were in your car listening to the stereo up real hard, how you can feel the bass inside your body. That's what it feels like for an empath. Bombarded. It takes longer and more isolation time for a person like that to get back to center, because there is so much of this that has to be bled off and processed and reimagined, and closing out that scene that disturbed me that I couldn't participate in stopping. I had to leave or walk away, or it was too far away, it was too many people, it was a public place, it was none of my business. But I'm coming home with that knowledge now. I have to still close out my half of that relationship for every single person that an empath or a person that's got that kind of bandwidth, for every single person that they happen to bear witness in their awareness. So, practice. Some of you are being advised to guard your senses in crowds and market type settings, and be aware that positivity brings life into us. Positivity breeds liveliness, invigoration, um, regenerative joyfulness. The biochemical responses to that are immortality, life, uh, uh, rub those freaking potatoes together and get some electricity going. You remember the science project in school where the copper coil and electrodes in a potato to show that even a potato is conducting electricity. A potato is alive. But at the same time, that polarized, that polarity, the other half of that is negativity, does the same thing in the opposite direction. It depresses us. It makes us angry, which uh, and then we become physically impaired. Uh, the the muscles constrict, the cells confine, the cells that are on the edge of reparation will start to die. Despair sets in, and then cellular regeneration just goes to pot. You begin to die. Your body begins to deteriorate. Strictly from biochemical responses to negativity. Your own body produces all those chemicals just by viewing what you even perceive as negativity. How many people have had their child walk in the first time they're old enough to hear mom and dad behind a closed door when they're having some alone time and mistake that for my dad is hurting my mommy? How many? That's an unsurprising childhood anecdote. Until the child understands that no, mommy's okay, daddy's okay, we're okay, everything's fine, then it's fine. Yeah. And then later in life, what those sounds create can be very joyful and completely opposite effect. It is our perception of the positivity and the negativity. Guard your senses. You are being advised to guard your senses like you were guarding your life, because these influences have the power to instigate biochemical responses of life or unalive. Okay, so moving on. Some of you are being advised that the way you take a win, your level of humility, is doing your service a disservice. People are coming to you afterward. You know, the world doesn't often tell us what it thinks of us, except for being negative. The world doesn't come around and tell us that we're wonderful, or that it has any positive feeling or any feeling at all toward us. It waits for a lover to come into our lives to, you know, elevate us or give us props and to exalt us. But so someone has been, for some of you, someone has been coming into your life and telling you that they see you being beautiful, that they see you being a beautiful soul, and the way and they see you doing beautiful things for other people to make their souls beautiful. They see your light. Namaste. The bright and shiny light in me sees the bright and shiny light in you. In your level of humility, in your efforts to be humble about it, you're actually being self-deprecating, and you are deterring the joy that sharing that celebration brings. You're shutting a party down, man. You need to learn how to say thank you. And that's all. It's like no is a singular and complete statement. Thank you is a single and complete statement. And thank you is often the only appropriate response. Be proud of the good works that you do. Put a light on them. Celebrate them. Let people celebrate them with you. This gets into someone near you. For some of you, someone near you is waiting to not feel so shy about doing good works. And because you have stepped out, maybe you have stepped forward in the middle of a vampire nest, Maybe you looked up and realized that you were in the midst of enemy territory. And there is great wickedness about you, but there are people around you that are timid to fight. They are not wanting to fight. They want to go do good works, but they know they can't do good works without having to put up a fight, because the people around them are going to boom, Jimmy fly, snook of their ass as soon as they put their head up. So you being there becomes a reception for them to be able to come out and do good works. They're not the first one. They don't have to double up on the battle. It's bad enough for them to have to fight where they are at home to try to sneak and do these good things. They're not encouraged. They're not supported. And they see you. You are a beacon. You're not just a beacon of hope. That's cheesy. But you're a beacon of courage. They borrow your courage until they get out there and get their both 2 feet in there. So, people everywhere around you are waiting to step forward because you're there to receive them. Because there's someone there that they see that is of like mind and heart. So, you don't have to be the first, but because you were there, so they didn't have to be, because they could not be. They couldn't. You made it so they didn't have to be. So you allowed them to do good works sooner than if they'd had to take up 2 fights instead of the 1. You won't get credit for this. You kicked the stone that brought the avalanche of kindness. You get to hurriedly step out of the way as a cascade of people coming behind you that are eager, and so eager in their generosity of heart, that by the time they reach where you are, you will be commonplace. What a beautiful thing. That's your reward. You get to live in a beautiful world. You get to live in the world that you were told to be the change where you wanted to see. You brought a sea change. You were the drop that set off the butterfly effect. You get to step out of the way and know that. How marvelous you are. What a pleasure to know you. How wonderful you are. There's a Buddhist prayer of, may anyone who sees me or hears my voice or even hears the mention of my name be instantly relieved of all suffering. That's what you bring. That's what you bring. So some of you may have felt like you've given yourself away lately, like you didn't know your value to a certain group. You didn't know how rare you were, but the people around you did, and they kept quiet, and they didn't bother telling you because they were pretty sure you didn't know. And this goes beyond someone coming up and pulling your glasses off and saying, darling, like you're a librarian that's never looked in the mirror and knows you're fucking hot. Baby, you're a 10 and you know it. This is about when you were a child, you glowed. And I got that you were exercising accidentally with telepathy, and the adults around you picked up on it way before you ever did. You didn't pick up on this until right around puberty? Maybe 9 or 10, you started playing with things that you were like doing it on purpose, or maybe you were noticing that things were not working out when you wanted it to do a different thing. I don't really get the feeling that it ever kind of caught your attention by messing up. I gather that, like right around menarche, right around puberty, your awareness of yourself, because that's a natural age to become aware of yourself too. But when you were smaller, you would play with plastic toys and they would come out like someone stuck them in the microwave. and that the grown-ups around you, now this is giving like that you were bred for this, or that you were taken. Some of you that were brought into, oh damn. I'm having some things fall into place for people that I know that I've been close to. Shit. That's grievous. So some of you, when you were children, your parents were less your parents and more of a physician. Your parents were involved in the medical field as an actual doctor or as a technician. And instead of being taken to any kind of institution for your special talents, that the grown-ups were, these grown-ups were both afraid of and studying and provoking and invoking your skills. As your parent or your guardian, and you were never cued to the fact that you were being studied for your talents. And I'm talking early childhood. I'm talking like hand toys, like blocks, plastic blocks with, they used to come with a plastic lid with the cutout shapes, and the bucket itself was the container for the blocks. And I'm seeing the lid of that. Or, when I was a kid, we used to keep all of our crayons, because when we were small, we peel the paper off and they'd break. So we'd keep them in a margarine tub. And then one time it got put into the back window on a car trip, into the back dash over the back seat. Got left in the sun. And, of course the crayons melted, but the bucket itself, the lid was warped. These toys that you played with, these plastic toys like that, these plastic film lids, things like that, would warp from your handling them, like someone had stuck them in the microwave. And these plastic toys, I had a vision of plastic Lego snap together kind of toys. Now, not Legos that snap, but like hooking, like Lincoln Logs. Plastic Lincoln Logs. You may have had off-brand plastic Lincoln Logs because they weren't toys. They were study materials, and they were off-brand because they were purchased by an institutional medical type facility. If you had been in an institutionalized care, it would have been that like Cisco Hospital vending brand of like safe toys for special children. But these were, they kind of, I've seen yellow, like cheddar cheese yellow blocks that about this big, but small hands. Scale, you were probably about 4 or 5. And they snapped together this way. Okay, they were shaped like, and they snapped together this way. But you were being watched with someone over your shoulder. You were trying to snap them together, but you kept doing something like you were trying to get them to snap inside of each other, just like they thought you were being developmentally challenged, but you were doing some molecular manipulation. You were working these toys together like this. You were conducting witchcraft. You were manifesting. You were drawing something through the dimensions to try to get these two toys to snap together, because these toys wouldn't snap together for you. The field of energy that went, confirmation, the field of energy that went through your hands would get between the blocks and repel them. So you had to use that same energy and kind of set the glue like it was magnets, polarity. And it wouldn't set for you. This was by design. They were trying to get you to fail. They were pushing you to failure. So for some of you, these might not be supernatural or ultranatural skills and talents. This might be just your divisive, ambitious parent took on with you a professional role instead of your, who is that? What? In the head? Right there, in the head? Did someone took an injury to the head? Someone used to get clipped in the head when they do it wrong. You had a pageant parent or a sports dad. Right there. I can feel it. Right there. Some of you may have a scar in your hairline. It feels like a little chunk taken out. But these two pieces that snap together, or were supposed to snap together, you made them, they were supposed to snap together. But the snapping mechanism was gone. They were gaslighting you into thinking that they were a certain kind of toy, but they were a special, challenging development toy for you to show your skill in front of them. Some of you, this kind of methodology led to poking and prodding. Some of you had surgeries without anesthesia, minor surgeries, but you were definitely cut on without anesthesia, but in a medical type setting. So I started to say you would not have recognized an institutionalized building. You would not have been raised in a medical environment. They brought the physicians into the home with you. You may have had an unusual amount of home pseudo-surgeries. Part of this was to shield you from being exposed to normal doctors who would ask the wrong questions or who would look into abuse types that would expose these experiments on you. This was less about exploitation and more about usury. They wanted to find out what the fuck you could do. You were not human to them. You weren't a person or a child to them. You were, maybe you were a starseed. I'm definitely getting like some shapeshifter. So these two pieces of toy, as soon as the grown-ups in the room, it was a single grown-up standing over you from a doorway into a kitchen. They were watching you play on the floor, and when they turned their back, you became unconscious because you were no longer conscious of being watched, and you melded them together. And when you did, they didn't snap together, you melted them together. You welded them together. One of them may have been actually inside through another solid piece. I get that strongly. Like these two pieces were now like this, one sticking through the other one, both solid pieces of like Lego plastic, resin. They likened it to a pine needle stuck through a 2x4 from a tornado. How does she even do that? You're on the floor. They're watching you. They're watching you change shape. 30:03 on the clock. 43:43 is our full timer. 30:07:77. Yeah, so the people that were doctors or technicians in your house were watching you and collecting your skills, keeping them logged carefully, reporting back to someone. And that's the larger question. And that I don't think I want to try to even look at 30:33. You're going to have to investigate that on your own. No thanks. That smells like feds. Okay, moving on. Your enemy may be in a dangerous phase right now after they've been completely unmasked by you. This smells a lot like narcissist. If you know the narcissist traits here, it's not hard to study up on. They all behave exactly the same way. Just like an alcoholic will use the same excuses across time, across the country, they all say the same thing. You've unmasked this person. Right now they're in a state of shock. They have, for the first time and the last time, flinched. And now at the risk of their ego mask falling off, and we all know that narcissists are at risk of self-implosion and self-unaliving if their ego mask slips completely. That's now a battle to the death. And they are that reactive about you right now. Just stay clear. Give them plenty of room. Just give them plenty of room. If you see them in a public place or you see them anywhere, treat them like a bear. Don't run. They will give chase. Tell them whatever you need to tell them. And then, you might consider going and making paper. Go and contact social services. Find out what's appropriate in your area. That's a good place to start asking questions. Let's see. They don't believe that you have any interceding power. And they certainly don't believe that you have any willpower to go and seek it if you don't already have it. But you do already have it. We have laws established to prevent this kind of thing. And we have societal systems like law enforcement, like social services, like restraining orders to help someone. Some of you are being encouraged to spruce up your spiritual routines, including and excluding as needed. Clean up the drifting negativity and the distractions. You are being encouraged, some of you, to monitor your tension level at this time. You're getting distracted and off track, and that's causing you hypertension. That's causing you high blood pressure. That's causing you muscle tension, headache, eye strain. Some of you have a peripheral person in your world that you discarded or disregarded when you first entered this scene. And they're in a relationship. They know you know they're in a relationship. They have bragged about their relationship in front of you before. But now they're starting to look at you because you've managed to flick off every flying monkey in existence that they've ever even known about since they got here. And now that's starting to look really attractive. But this is a sleaze bag, and they only want you because they want to try to conquer you and take your power for themselves. And honey, you're not that cute. I'm talking to them. They're not that cute. Some of you are in a live-in situation with your potential life partner. Heart itches. Confirmation. This is potentially your soulmate, and you can't keep up. Their family is driving you crazy. It's not their parents. You worried about the mom at first because she seemed just fucking angry and destroyed every holiday, every family event. It's these siblings. The mom kicked these motherfuckers out of her house. They are not allowed back in her place. Now they have transferred this, like, they're a bunch of grown-up fucking 12-year-olds. They are tearing your house down around your ears and breaking all your shit. I got earlier that you just built a outdoor brick fireplace because you knew you had to build something that would withstand their rambunctious, and these motherfuckers took a wheelbarrow through it, riding each other around. and destroyed it. And that's it. And what you're most angry about is that your partner is not stopping or doing anything to stop this. This is both of you's house. Anyway, you know what? If you want to leave this, because this motherfucker is never going to step up for you. He's never going to stop his family. He likes his role in his family. You're the new mom that lets them destroy the house. Get the fuck out if you can. Ooh, that's never going to get any better. No, disrespect. Disrespect. Again, how long have you been the grown-up even in that relationship? Check yourself, honey. 35:20 on the clock. We're going to 43:43. Some of you feel like you're dealing with lower life forms, and you are not wrong. For some of you, you may be overhearing people that you trusted that are now talking shit to you, about you, not to you. And it's a distinct kind of letdown only because you have been going along trusting this person to be keeping your confidence, but like keeping you in care, and they're not. And the only shock is that you didn't see it coming, and it hit you so fast. If you had seen this coming along and then you'd heard shit, you wouldn't just like, yeah, that's what I expected. So just like, you're only worried now because you're having to reevaluate all the shit that you told them and wonder what's going to come blowing back at you. But if you punish instead of departing, just fucking leave this scene. You're going to be continuing this relationship with the lower life form. And who's the loser now? I'm not calling you a deadbeat. I'm just saying you will be the loser in that situation. Because they will get what they want out of you. Not everybody deserves you. Not everybody can be saved. We have to understand that wickedness will be with us as people. Squirrels don't do wickedness. Dogs don't do wickedness. People do. And until Judgment Day, when heaven and earth are unified, you are going to experience wickedness from people. You go outside your house, there's going to be wicked people. So you can pray for them, you can love them, but you can do it from way the fuck over there. If you are called to try to heal these people, stay safe. If you're captured by wickedness, I repeat my freedom call from a few days ago. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep this channel going strong. This is the call for you. If you were trapped behind the walls of wickedness, if you were incarcerated illegally, if you were being held against your will, if you were being held hostage, if you were captured just by an evil son of a bitch, we see you. We await your return. We pray for your freedom. We see you. You are not forgotten. We keep working, fighting for you. Keep working to free yourself. We are working our way to you. Keep fighting as long as you can. We are on our way. We are coming for you. And if you lose your way, you know that you have heard us praying for people like this every day, and now we pray for you. Come home. And if you feel your heart pricked with benediction, to return to your loving power, to your power to love, to your power to generate life. Return to your loving power. Don't let evil blacken your heart with frustration. Don't let wickedness turn your loving spark into ashes in your mouth with rage. Sit with your rage burning in your belly and feel your shame to know that you are powerless right now, and discover why you are unable to get what you need and work toward that goal. Find the cause of your suffering and work to its cessation. We are here with you. Keep fighting. Keep fighting the good fight. I love you. You are loved. Come back. Come back soon to Angel Radio Tarot.